Burst at the horn, no foul, and American Fork completes the run, the 10 seed. And Evan Young's on the rim. But Ryan Cuff's second state championship at American Fork. Welcome into Game Night Live Rewind. As always, presented by Hyde Upton & Associates, brought to you by Western Governors University. Dusty Litster, Dane Stewart, our 6A profile.
Yeah.
And we'll get to some fun stuff at the very end. But man, American Fork in an unprecedented run, underseeded. I mean, they were a 10 seed because of the record, whatever. But the turn in the second part of the year, what they were able to do to now be called the Kings of 6A basketball for the second time in 4 seasons, pretty impressive.
Really impressive. And I mean, you talk about a team that had a gauntlet of a schedule to fight through, right? A lot of issues off the court, injuries and things to battle through, and the way that they came together, just remarkable, Dusty. And look, there's a secret recipe for AF. We'll get to that at the end. That's what we call a tease. You want to watch this whole video. But to cap this off, win over PG, win over Corner Canyon. Man, what a tournament run from American Fork.
Absolutely. And the guy that, probably one of the best stories on this team. You'll hear more about the stories. We're going to do it at the top.
Yeah.
Noah Moyaki, young man that's going to play football here at BYU. He's had a number of injuries, and you might think he's healthy. We'll get to that a little bit later, but it was great to catch up with Noah Moyaki. Two-time state champion Noah Moyaki. You bookend your career, brother. How's it feel?
Man, I can't even explain it. I'm so happy right now. I'm so happy that me and my brothers could get this right now. It was a hard path this season. No one knows what we had to go through, and it was just so gratifying to get this.
Talk about that a little bit, because you guys, obviously, a lot of returners from last year. You had some kids that left the program, but there was not a tougher schedule in the state than what you guys had, right? How did that prepare you to put together this state tournament run?
Man, the teams we had to play out of state, we went out of state a couple times, played some great in-state teams, top in the state, and coming into the state tournament, there was nothing we hadn't seen. And that's just what helped prepare us, and we got through the tournament.
Well, talk about this group, and you got yourself, you got Yao, finally gets to get a state championship, but you got young guys, like Evan Young, my heavens. The kid lives on the floor because he either takes a charge or he dives after basketball. What's it been like, this makeup of this team?
Man, at the beginning of the year, it was kind of hard. We were trying to come together as a team, but we finally came together. We love each other. No one in the state loves each other as much as we love each other, and I think that was the difference in the state tournament.
You guys did not finish with the region championship, but you knocked off some of the best teams in the region and route to a state championship. What does that mean to go through those Region 4 teams, rivals in Corner Canyon, and route to the championship?
I mean, coach would tell us every region game, it's a state tournament atmosphere, and he was right. All 4 teams in the semifinals are Region 4, so those games really helped prepare us, and there's nothing we hadn't seen, like I said before.
And you got to be with Ryan Cuff from his very first year. What's it like to play for a guy that is that intense and that rides you as much as Ryan Cuff?
Man, I'd do anything for that dude. He knows what he's doing. We got two rings now, and man, he's got more to come.
Two-time state champion Noah Moyaki, brother. Hey, congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Thanks, bud.
Congrats, Noah.
Thank you.
We'll get into more, but Noah, you said about how humble he is, how excited he was. 2 state championships on the basketball team. Going to play football at BYU, but just a great kid.
Yeah, he doesn't look like a point guard anymore.
No, he doesn't.
Right? He is. He looks like a banger, and he had to. I mean, he had to scrap and fight. And, really critical what he's brought to this team. He's been on this stage before. He knows what it takes. And I think that some of that senior leadership played out in the locker room with some guys that haven't been here before, right, or haven't been able to figure it out. And so you'll hear players talk about him. Man, it's crazy to think that his career has finally come to a close, but he has been a mainstay and a big reason for AF 2 state championships in the last 4 years.
Well, the development of this team goes with Yao Rainier. This guy is a major part of this team, but the rebound in the second half of the year, the run through the state tournament, Yao Rainier is in the very middle of it. Here with state champion Yao Rainier. Yao, your sophomore year at TIPU, lost in the state championship game, get to American Fork, losing the semifinal. How good does this moment feel?
Oh, it's awesome. Losing 2 and then coming back and winning it all is awesome. It's a great feeling.
Yeah, talk about, I thought defensively against PG, and Coach Gardner pointed this out, how you really locked down McCaden Adams. What was it like to go up against one of the top scorers in 6A? Because I think you held him to not very many points in that second half.
It's tough. Just knowing what the refs are going to call, staying in front, keeping your hands up is really all it is. But he's a good player for sure. I respect him a lot. Yeah.
Experiences build calmness and everything else. You've been at line so many times at the end of games. What were you feeling on those free throws down the stretch? Because there's the loneliest place in the basketball floor is the free throw line, leading free throws.
The only thing I changed is I stopped thinking this time and just made all 4, and it was awesome. It was great to see him go in, so that was it, really.
Talk about this team, because this really is a team. I mean, every game it feels like, man, who is the best player? And you can make the case for 5 or 6. What has it been like to be a member of this team and cap it off with the state championship?
Honestly, Noah coming back was a huge factor. We didn't really like each other at the beginning, which our record shows. And then we lost a couple. Noah came back. We started winning in the state tournament, and then from there it's gone uphill. And we really love each other after that Florida trip, so that was awesome.
And what's it like playing for a guy like Ryan Cuff?
Oh my goodness. He's got a lot of energy. But he's awesome. Way different from my last coach. Just more positive, wants us to succeed, just all that. Yeah, it's awesome.
Walk us through the final moments, man. You guys Evan hits the free throws, everything goes. Walk us through your emotions of knowing you're a state champion.
I didn't know what to think. I saw the ball go up and I missed, and the buzzer went off, and I was like, wow, that's it. That's really it.
Well, man, forever you'll be known as a state champion. Congratulations,
awesome.
Yao.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, brother.
Congrats,
Thank you
Yao.
guys. Appreciate it.
We brought it up, regular season, he had to learn. And Yao just got better. We watched him since his sophomore year at Timpview. This kid has gotten better and better every year.
The more you get to know Yao, and I haven't talked with him a lot until post-game today, but man, you can quickly fall in love with the kid, right? Great kid. You can tell a very humble personality, but one of the things you have to absolutely feel great about was in a situation late in the year against Skyridge, missed 2 free throws, could have won the game, has free throws here in the state championship, and that young man throws that memory out, clear the mechanism, step up to the line, hit big-time free throws when they're needed, help deliver a state championship for American Fork. Could not be any more proud of a young man stepping up in big-time moments and making big-time plays.
Is there anybody that's came in and dominated our show? No, there's been a lot. This is a good one. Evan Young dominates a lot of what we talk about in the state tournament, and every big moment for American Fork in all those big games, number 11 was in the middle of them. Talk about maybe the 4 biggest plays in the state tournament. Number 11's in the middle of them. You get a chance to hear from Evan Young. Evan, man, first of all, walk us through your feelings right now.
Oh, I'm excited. That was fun. I mean, dang, we came in as a 10 seed. I feel like we were way underseeded, but still, it's a 10 seed. I feel like we just proved everybody wrong.
How in the world did you get on top of the rim? I watched it, but explain it today. He didn't see it.
Okay, let me explain the full story. My dad won the last state championship here, and after he won, he jumped on that rim, and it was like one. And so I was like, I have to do that. I have to do that. And so as soon as the buzzer sounded, I was like, all right. And I just climbed up the net, jumped on the rim, pulled myself up. The adrenaline was going, so it was pretty easy actually. Pushed myself up. Yeah, it was fun.
Talk about this week for you. Obviously, you talk about you guys 10 seed, but I mean, you draw the charge to help get past PG. Your defense today was tenacious. Talk about what this week has been like for you to capture a state championship and end in that way.
It's amazing. The feeling is absolutely amazing. I mean, I feel like our defense as a team was just unreal, and that's what really got us to win this championship. Our defense, it was, I mean, at the beginning, it wasn't there, kind of. I mean, it was there, but it wasn't the best. And we were always preaching, we're going to be the best defensive team in the state. And today, I think we proved it. I think we proved that we're the best defensive team in the state.
So you got some seniors you're going to play with as a sophomore. Noah Moyaki, been through so much. State championship as a sophomore, so many knee injuries, things. Yao Rainier had been to a state championship game as a sophomore, hadn't won. What's it been like to help get them to this point and now give them a state championship to walk out with?
I'm so happy for them. I'm so happy for everybody on this team. I love this team so much. This team is just something special to me. I mean, we're just brothers. We really are. I mean, it's crazy what people talk, say, oh, we're family. Yeah, we're family. But we really are brothers. I really just love each and every single one of them. They're awesome. They're so awesome.
You guys have had a really tough regular season. A lot of that, the schedule. You guys, no joke, right? But talk about what it means to beat your rival PG in a semi and then swept by Corner Canyon regular season. You guys come out top in the state championship.
It's hard to beat a team 3 times in a row. If you look back at history, last time we were here, we lost to PG twice in region. We come down and we beat them, what was it, 4 years ago? I don't know. History likes to repeat itself. I don't know. It's just funny to me. It's cool. It's funny.
Well, Evan, man, congratulations. You are a state champion, brother. Hey, thanks, bud. It's funny. I've seen that picture, and I didn't know it was his dad standing on the back or on the rim, and we don't have one. We didn't have it on the screen.
Yeah.
I watched him. Pretty awesome.
I love the tribute. All right, I did not know the backstory. That's fantastic, Evan. That's great, man. But you want to talk about a kid who leaves his heart on the floor?
Right.
Look no further than Evan Young. And it's why I love the nickname the Bobby Hurley of Utah high school basketball, because he is. I mean, it feels like, and we talked about it during the championship stream, this is a young man who's always looking to get an advantage for his team. And if that means I got to take 5 charges, I'll take 5 charges. And I might get called for a block 2 or 3 times, but I'm always scrapping, always looking for that next opportunity to help benefit my team. Love the way he plays. I mean, you talk about the way that he beat some of the Corning Canyon defenders off the dribble. He's done that to some of the best in the country. We got a couple more years of Evan Young. Cannot wait to see his career and how it unfolds.
Well, the guy that is at the head of this program is Ryan Cuff. He's the first coach to win 3 state championships at 3 different schools. He's now got 2 at AF. 4-time state championship head coach, Ryan Cuff. Your first time you've won 2 at the same school. What are your emotions like?
Just means so much because it's all about the kids, and I'm no different coach in all the other years that we didn't win it. And you give a lot of credit to Corner Canyon, Coach Lunt, what an incredible season, and their players. Your heart goes out to them, because of how hard it is. And you just think of the time and the history of our school, and it hasn't been, the 3 years previous, but you also feel that history. As a coach, you look back, and it's not just 3 years ago when we won it, but it's the first state championship in 1950, and then all those in between, and then everybody that comes to school and wants to be part of it. And incredible senior class, so proud of them. They're going to remember this for the rest of their lives.
Coach, what makes this state championship different? Not better, not worse, but different from any of the others that you've won.
Well, it's just the way we started. We had a brutal schedule, and sometimes as a coach you're really nervous about a schedule like that, especially if you lose a few. And we lost a few. And the concern you have is if you lose the kids, you lose their confidence, or, they don't keep believing in the system. And the one thing that they did is they kept motivating me to come to practice every day and be good for them. They were great for me. They didn't quit. And I think that's such a great example. We started this tournament run with a losing record. And we just kept one at a time, and they gave us a 10 seed, and then I think we take around that 0, and our program believed we were a 1 seed.
Right.
You take away that 0, and that's the confidence that we had, but yet there's a lot of humility, tremendous amount of humility, because you know what? There's good teams that all deserve to win this.
Yeah. Well, you talk about a 1, that thinks he's a 1, even though he has no receiver. Number 11. Good grief. You and I talked right after that game against Duncanville, and I said, you got the Bobby Hurley of Utah high school basketball. And Evan Young, I don't know if someone filled into a nickname I gave him more than Evan Young. He's Bobby stinking Hurley. It's amazing.
And he doesn't get enough credit. Your defenders who are hard-nosed, grinded in and out, and who helps us be who we are defensively. It's contagious as a team, but he's the heart and soul of it. The straw you talk about that stirs the drink, he is on the defensive end for us. And he's been in our program for 3 years, and just so proud of him that he hung with it. And, he ended up investing into his role offensively. And he's the type of kid, probably if we let him go, he could score a few more points. But it wasn't what our team needed. Our team needed him to be that point guard, to share the ball and get that average point, but yet get others involved and then do what he does defensively. And we knew we had to win the defensive battle, the rebounding battle, to have a run.
Talk about Noah Moiaki. I mean, one as a freshman as a point guard, evolved to a 4 or 5 for you. But talk about his career here. He's battled through injuries, he's missed some time, but to be able to start his career and end his career with the state championship, talk about what he's meant.
Well, so much. We don't talk about this, and you guys don't know this. And in fact, I listen to you guys often, and you think he's healthy. He has a torn labrum in his hip and having surgery next week. You would never know it at all. Even in practice would tell him, just go easy. And there are times he would listen, but there's times he wanted to be there out with his teammates. And so for him to be able to do what he did his freshman year, he ended up grinding his sophomore year and got to play, but then fought through injuries his junior year. There wasn't a day of practice and a game that he didn't show up.
Right.
He was there every single time. And I think that consistency, and then the consistency through his his knee injury after football, that he missed a few games early on. And then been getting him back, and we're just grateful that we got him back because he's a champion.
And one other big senior. We'll get to one more, just fun part at the end. But Yao Rainier, I mean, here's a guy that, I mean, we interviewed in his interview, talk about, hey, experiences give you opportunities. He's at the free throw line in situations he's been in a lot, and he's nails. Knocks down 4-4. You talk about his development, what you've seen from Yao.
You know, and it started on the defensive end for Yao. You know, he guarded the best player on the other team every game. And then we always said, you know, your defense complements your offense. And when his defense got going, some of those other things happened. And there's not one kid that I know that I've ever coached that is more unselfish than Yao Rainier. He has the biggest heart ever. And it took me a little bit to figure him out. But that kid loves everyone. He wants everybody to play together. He wants everybody to do well. And, you know, and sometimes we'd like him to go a little bit more and do a little bit more. But he plays within the system and the program. And then big shots he hit, but more importantly, too, those free throws at the end, which during the year he struggled a little bit with the pressure. But he was able to get back and be composed and knock those down. So I just so happy for him.
I know from this morning, our text, you're a Hoosiers fan like me. How sweet is it to go to the state championship game, Ollie knocking down free throws to send you?
You know, and Ollie was another one. He started for us early. We got Noah back. Yep. Then Ollie kind of doesn't play as much. There's a couple of games he didn't even play. And then he just kind of little by little, because of his hard work and practice, it's like, coach has got to play me, you know, and that was his attitude. He was very coachable. He never had a bad attitude once. And so just awesome for him to be able to be on the court there at the end as well. And what an incredible semifinal he had.
Yeah. Well, after you make the second, and you will make the second, you got it all to go.
Right.
Number 2, Coach, congratulations. That's the best way to end it, brother. Hey,
Congrats,
congratulations. Coach. Ryan's always so positive.
Yeah.
He texted me this morning. The only text I got was a picture of his team in a circle with their arms around each other. It's all I had. And we went and I sent him a Hoosiers thing back. Ryan, we did a thing with him during COVID and the pandemic. Just love being around the energy of Ryan Cuff.
Yeah, and you know, and a lot of coaches like this, right? All the coaches we interviewed this week, very humble. But man, you can just tell he feels for his kids, right? And you know, this was not an easy year. I mean, he'll tell you it was a battle, right? There were a lot of things we had to fight through, and he talks about the schedule, right? And having to kind of deal with that and not losing kids. And I mean, just an absolutely fantastic job by Coach Cuff. This was a true team and a roster that there was not a single star. There were 6-7 guys playing collectively as a whole, and able to get them all on the same page, able to buy into the style, the system, and it turns out in a state championship.
Well, congratulations to American Fork. First of all, to Corner Canyon, an absolutely terrific round to Coach Lunt. But the American Fork, you go through that schedule, you go through December, maybe early part of January, that team won a state championship. They stayed together, got in the tournament, made the run.
You know the secret for American Fork? I busted the code, Dusty. It's a very simple recipe. Get swept by a team in region play, meet up with them in a state championship game, book it, Dano. State champions. Just
like they did 4 seasons ago.
That's right.
They got swept by PG, beat them in the state championship. They got swept by Corner Canyon, got them in the title game. Man.
Impressive.
The 2022 season comes to a close. Thank you for joining all the things we've done. More games we've ever done before, but it was an absolute blast. Again, congratulations to the American Fork Cavemen. Once again, the kings of 6A basketball. For Vince Francis and Dane Stewart, I'm Dusty Lister. Thanks for joining us and watching Game Night Live Rewind, brought to you by Heidemann Associates and Western Governors University.